Hello, this is a quick presentation on what I would call the 9 cardinal PowerPoint sins. Actually, there's a 10th sin, in fact, probably many more sins, but there's a 10th sin, and that's assuming that Microsoft makes smart choices and that their defaults are good enough. This leads me to sin number 1, using the Microsoft default template. The layouts are not attractive, they make poor use of screen space, and they're not anywhere close to what graphic designers or presentation experts would recommend. Here's quickly what they look like. Sin number 2. While it might seem smart to go to widescreen layouts, there's a key problem, and that's that people want both the on-screen version and the printout version. And since we don't print on legal paper, and our folders and binders and cabinets most of them aren't legal sized, the truth of the matter is the standard format works better. Sin number 3, that's using the Microsoft default color theme. It's weak, it's muted, uses orange, which nobody ever uses. There's no reds, purples, or browns. Instead, you have one that we developed, and it's bold, strong, and confident. It's one that we need to use. Sin 4, plain text. Compare the left and the right. Bold text stands out much better. It's easier to see from the back of the auditorium, and it's something we should just do. Just always use bold. Control A selects all, Control B makes it bold. Control A, Control B. Okay, now I had enough of that other template. It was driving me batty. So I shifted to our approved template for first out command. It has 6 approved slide layouts. Generally there's 2 of them. This title and this divider are not part of your standard fare of what you use. You use these 4 other ones. Go through them real quick. There's a title slide. There's the bullet slide. It's got nice bold text, good size to it. This is size 28 to start with. And just a title only, because sometimes you want objects. A dual bullet layout, and then the quad chart layout. And of course, there's a divider slide. So sin number 5, failure to use these slide layouts. You should always use the slide layouts. What people will do will create their own title up here as a text box, and it sort of messes things up. Slide 6, using all caps in the titles. This is very common that people do. Why? It takes up more space, and it's just not recommended. We recommend, and the standard is, use title case. It looks like this. Then there's the issue of using a font size that's too small. This is 18, this is 16, which is really where try to get people so they don't go below 16. But sometimes you go down to 14, you're still okay. You can still see things from the back of the room. But what you're starting to get into is starting to cram too much on the slide if you're feeling like you need to go down to 14 or 12. Don't use 12, 10, 9, 8, or whatever that is, 6, can barely see it even. So sin number 8 is using inadequate contrast. So you can see here the difference between the black on dark gray and white on gray. You just have some contrast between your object, your text and object. Putting too much on the slide. If there's one thing that people mess up the most, it's this one, is trying to cram too much on your slides. It's not only that it's hard to see, but the audience doesn't absorb all this stuff. It generally works better as a handout, but having it on screen and have everybody, well, especially while you're talking over the top and saying all sorts of stuff with this slide. It's very hard to follow, very hard on the audience, and it's just not good. So this concludes my list of 9 sins, and as I said, there's other ones, but these are the most prominent that you'll run into.